Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. After 62 intriguing matches, we are down to the final match. Match number 63 at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, United States. It is the final of the FIFA Club World Cup involving former champions Chelsea and of course European champions Paris Saint-Germain. Two teams that are in good form. Don't lose it. The both teams have been in incredible form up until the end of last season, up till the Club World Cup, and they will meet in the final that many would have failed to predict at the start of the competition. It is Paris Saint-Germain from France up against Chelsea from England. Onkani Sam and the Bishop joins me as we look at this final. Now, in the semi-final, they were both certain that PSG will go to the final.
Yeah.
But they were sure that it was going to be a Paris Saint-Germain against Fluminense in the final. But somehow Chelsea's new signing, former Fluminense player Joao Pedro, came up strong. And it was too fantastic go to send Chelsea to the final on Kani Sam.
It was different.
It was the difference.
It was a different. And when they were buying him, I said, I think off camera, I told you, this is Marquinhos' best signing since he became Chelsea player. Watch him last
Chelsea's
season.
coach.
I was thinking, I watched him last season. I never knew he was going to stay that long before a club signing. I thought by mid-January. That's why when I was saying, and there were no players to sign. When you have Joao Pedro in that league there, when you have Cunha in that league there that were scoring goals, when you even have the Lab and the rest of them. So when Chelsea initially went for the Lab, I was like, come on, what's this? When you have Joao Pedro, you understand? Mine went for Cunha. I was like, wonderful signing. Chelsea, Joao Pedro, the Lab was like, what's this? Then he now became the different.
They now topped him up.
They did the unthinkable. I thought they were coming over against the compact side. They turned out to be the compact side.
Exactly.
They turned out to be the compact side.
Fluminense struggled for reading.
There was nothing so spectacular about Fluminense performance.
They struggled for reading. They
couldn't connect. They couldn't play the game I saw them play against is it Al Hilal, right?
Hilal,
yeah, they couldn't even. I mean, this is a team that we said on our last show here that the last time they won was
the last time they lost was
May. 11 matches unbeaten.
And this is a team that played Inter Milan.
You know the funniest thing. I think at times, right, you don't need to have a shouty team. And I think Maresca is beginning to understand what he needs to do. And the thing that's working for Chelsea again is probably the number of players in their disposal.
They can rotate.
They can
squad
rotate
depth.
a lot.
They're not tired.
There was no Kobe, there was no Dilab.
Game. But it never looked like
they were
struggling. Back four, they looked okay. Your guy, what was his name? Cucurella. Always coming up. I mean, living up to expectation. And come on, they did what we never thought they would. Because in my head, the final is going to be between UEFA and CONMEBOL.
Now it's going to.
Now it's going to be between two European teams, which it makes it a bit boring for me, sincerely speaking. Make it a bit boring for me.
Imagine, it's the first time
it's still,
in a very long time because this is the first time multiple
it's still a proof of dominance of
where football is.
Yeah, I mean football
still belongs to Europe.
Football is in Europe, fact. South Americans are trying, give a good account of themselves.
Yeah,
they did unthinkable. If you ask me, I mean, if you go and see this guy's budget. What Chelsea used to buy Pedro, I think £50 million, right? Yeah, Pedro. That is the total revenue of
for the team.
Is it Palmeiras? No, of
Botafogo.
The whole of 2020-2024. That was their turnover. That was their turnover.
So imagine Chelsea just pick that amount, boom, and sign one player.
To tell you how financially they're struggling, they're not there. But I mean, look how they're doing.
The quality of players,
the quality of
the
football
structure
they play,
of the club,
the structure of the
and of course the Club World Cup has helped. I think Fluminense was it Fluminense or Botafogo?
All the Brazilian team, all the Brazilian team,
Botafogo, right? Igor Jesus.
Yeah,
that's
all the Brazilian team. Apart from the money they make, they've been able to make good sales. They sold themselves out there.
Yeah.
See, I don't think many of those players remain in Brazil after this Club World Cup because a lot of people will have, like me, even watching it as a fan, I picked one or two players that can be useful to some things in Europe. But come on, let's give it to Fluminense. I think they punched far above their weight. They did, yeah.
Are you sure?
When the result they got against some top teams like Inter Milan, some teams we expected them. Like,
Al Hilal that knocked Man City out.
Absolutely, they did so well. You could see, I think when I watched the Chelsea play, they didn't look like the Chelsea I used to know. There was something new about them. Maybe it's the semi-final factor because, like he said, they looked more compact, and the fact that they were pressing. Chelsea are terrible at pressing. I watched them last season, and that's their worst attribute. They don't know how to press.
They just soaking the pressure.
Exactly,
and they allow individual
hoping that Caicedo
front,
will do everything. Come on, but they worked together. He could even, when Rhys James came in, I was like, are you sure he's going to do the same thing? And he was able to, keep up with the pace of what this guy is doing at right back. And he also did so. You could see that everybody was marking, even from Joao Pedro. You saw him tracking back.
In the moment he scored, I think the moment he scored the ball, he was back
defending again.
Defending.
So maybe, like you said, maybe Chelsea do not need the star-studded players. They don't need players who are willing to fight for each other.
Seen that with the other thing.
Who are willing to fight for each other.
Now, let's look at PSG semi-final before we now look at both teams in the final. Paris Saint-Germain, honestly,
walk in the park.
I don't know, but Real Madrid has got a huge problem.
Please,
and the problem is beyond Xabi Alonso.
Don't be angry. Don't be angry. What is Joao Asensio doing play for Real Madrid?
It's not that guy. I
think he's leaving now. That was his last game.
No, Joao Asensio. No.
Okay, it was
Modric.
Not Modric. No.
Modric.
Wasn't Raul Asensio?
No,
Raul Asensio. No,
it's
this other
Caballero.
midfielder. No, not Cavarha. This other
Ceballos.
No, not Ceballos. That is other guy. I've forgotten his name. Sorry, I mistake. That's the funny thing. Raul Asensio gave a very good account of himself.
Yes.
When at some point last season.
But
against Arsenal he was poor.
Against
Arsenal he was poor. Nobody talked about it because it was Europe. You understand? Until we got to this.
At this club World Cup, he has been terrible.
He was
red card in 7 minutes.
If Madrid must go far, he has to leave.
He caused a penalty against Al Hilal.
Yes.
He was exposed completely.
So this is what was the attempt to clear the ball from
now you're talking about him.
How about
Rudiger? Look at that schoolboy.
No, Rudiger made some schoolboy error that blew my mind at this level. It's unacceptable.
And the level of professionalism.
After that, I was like, okay, come on, this is the end. We might not see Rudiger in this JC again. I feel they might. I don't know because that error was too costly. He understood that they lose that match.
The yellow card to Hutchinson was...
Rudiger plays better when he played with Hudson. Unfortunately, Hudson wasn't available. Yeah. And he had to play with Raul Asensio. A total calamity.
Playing with Raul Asensio, playing with Rudiger's supposed to be the bigger guy there.
Yeah, he should be.
So if anybody is going to make a schoolboy error in a match of such magnitude, it shouldn't be him. It can be any other person. And this is not the first time.
PSG's pressing. Fantastic.
Like I said, off the camera here,
we are seeing the
reincarnation of Barca, the tiki-taka. The pressing, the dominant, you assert your authority, you know you're better. And they're not doing it with some shouting player. And they're doing it effortlessly. As if they're not doing anything.
4-0.
They are not struggling.
They're smashing teams up and down.
I mean, go and check their record against the European team in this competition. 10-0.
They're smashing.
Yeah,
10-0. 4 against Atletico. 4 against Madrid. Right? 2 against Bayern.
They're smashing teams.
10-0.
Now, let's go to the final proper. The two teams. For Chelsea, 11 wins in their last 15 outings. For Paris Saint-Germain, they've won 15. They've won 11 of their last 13 games. Fantastic form. At the Club World Cup, out of the 6 games that Paris Saint-Germain have played, they've only been breached once, and it was the ones that they lost.
In
the group stage, they've kept 5 clean sheets, scoring 16 goals.
That's crazy.
For Chelsea,
and funny enough, remember. When we're talking about the semi-final here, we talk about they're going to miss what's his name, Pacho Williams.
Pacho Williams. I told you clearly that.
Yeah, Pacho.
But his absence was not visible.
We
agreed that the two say Berardo is here. Berardo is a pound for one placement for him.
Berardo did it was even on holiday.
Because Madrid did not.
Yeah, because Madrid didn't do anything.
Madrid didn't show up.
Madrid has the same issue with what they call it, Man City. Something is wrong fundamentally. Something is wrong
psychologically.
No, with the
quality of the player. I think Madrid is ego.
It's
not ego issue. The ego issue is too much.
It's not ego.
Look at Vinicius and just to point out, Vinicius and Kylian Mbappe going to take a corner kick. Why?
What are they doing there?
Why? So one of you cannot leave the corner kick for the next to play. What is the problem in Vinicius going into the box or Kylian going to the box?
The best decision that Enrique made is how letting go
Kylian Mbappe. He said it. He said, I'd rather have players who score
4 players that will score
12 goals for me than have a single player that will score 40 goals. And it's working.
It's working for
because let's look at it. Dembele, Desa Deore, Bracola, Kvaratskhelia have all scored in 12 plus goals this season.
Even Gonzalo Ramos, who don't play
Gonzalo Ramos.
Well, see, I mean, even Joao Navis is scoring too.
Yes. Hakimi is putting in some goals.
Hakimi is in a league of his own.
That guy is what a player.
He's on a league on his own.
That's the best right back in the
world.
world.
What we're seeing right now is the reincarnation of Barca. And this is something so spectacular, more spectacular than probably what we see during the day. And they begin to make football boring for me.
With Barca, they had Messi.
I remember
they had Xavi and Iniesta. PSG, what do they have?
I remember with Barca, right, at some point, right, I don't even bother to watch game. The only thing I ask is
the result.
How many you understand? How many goals? And we're getting to that level right now. The last time these guys were tested, like really tested, apart from the Botafogo game, is their game against Arsenal.
Yeah.
That was when they were, because they were straight. They didn't play. What Madrid was playing, Arsenal weren't just lucky enough probably to convert 1 or 2 chances.
Well, Arsenal were paid for their wastefulness.
Yeah,
Yes,
paid
that's
for
their wastefulness.
That was the last time I saw this team stretch.
Aside that,
Praised.
it has been
Even
easy.
the Botafogo team, Botafogo did not actually
Press
press
them.
them.
They
They
only
won that
defended
game.
and countered
But the
attack.
last time they were praised and praised and praised down. Liverpool was like a walk in the park for them.
But
They
they had
praised
fun, they had
Liverpool
fun, they had fun.
against
Home and away.
against
Home and
Aston
away,
Villa.
they had
yes.
Against Aston Villa,
Even
it
though Aston
wasn't-
Villa won.
Well, yeah, but
it was
it
better
wasn't.
side.
But against Arsenal, home and away, they won. But that was the last time I saw them. Though Arsenal lost, that's another argument completely. But I'm
Well,
talking about that was when they were praised.
For Paris Saint-Germain, every English team they've met this season, they've won
They've smashed
against the team. They beat Arsenal, they beat Aston Villa, they beat Manchester City,
Beat
Liverpool.
they beat Liverpool, and of course the next English team they will be facing
Chelsea.
will be Chelsea. In the final come Sunday at the MetLife Stadium. Let's talk about the two managers quickly. Luis
But
Enrique-
what we do, just a bit on PSG quickly. These guys have won every trophy they can. They've laid their hands
Yeah,
on this season. every single.
They are
trophy.
aiming to win
And
their
the
sixth
sixth,
reminder.
Exactly, just
They are aiming to
sort of
win their
level.
sixth.
So it's looking like
And-
they're about on verge of making history. Even the Barcelona they were comparing them with did not do that.
and they could even, if they win, they still have a
I saw
Super Cup
well,
final. They
to
could
break
still
your
win.
heart. I saw a video of Barca player looking so dejected and so distraught, and somebody said, "Go and ask them who did this to
them.
which is Chelsea." You understand?
Now,
that who did this to them?
Now, let's also note the fact that now for Chelsea, Chelsea, of course, could become the fifth team to win multiple FIFA Club World Cup titles. That after Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and of course, Brazilian side Corinthians. However, the Blues could also become the first team ever to lose twice in the final of the Club World Cup. No team has lost the final twice. So history could favor Chelsea
Either way.
and history could work against Chelsea. For Paris
Either
Saint-Germain,
way.
they are aiming to win their first ever Club World Cup title. And of course, like Nonso Adense said, it could be the sixth of the season. That's after already winning the French League, the French League Cup, the French Cup, and of
Champions
course
League.
the Champions League.
Now the Club World
And then now the Club World Cup. Remember, they won the French Super Cup.
Cup.
Also,
At the beginning of the season.
and then they could also go on to win the UEFA Super Cup, where they play against.
People say this is a kind of
a Tottenham
Not
Hotspur
on the
side.
flip side, they say this could be a kind of Champions League winner taking on the Conference League winner. They will beat them and they go and play the
And they go and play the Europa League winner
and beat them.
and also beat
But
them.
PSG is in the World
But
Cup.
let's look at
Trust me.
the team selection. Headache for, of course, Enzo Maresca. The fact that there's a return.
Practically everybody's available now.
Levi Colwill is back and fully suspension.
Yeah.
And of
He's
course,
ready to go.
he has a decision to make whether Leon Delap should also start or until
Joao
Joao
Pedro.
Pedro goes to the flank or remain with Christopher Nkunku, who surprisingly has found form in the last few games for Chelsea. Do you think the same lineup should go in? Possibly Tosin Aderabioyo dropping to the bench for Kowi to come in.
Kowi is their best
and partner
defender.
Chalobah.
Kowi
He's their best defender.
not even
They can't
arguably.
drop him. He's their best
And you
defender.
can't gamble on a day like that. You
Yes.
can't gamble. You
But
go with your best team.
Even if it's 80% fit.
We know why Kowi didn't play the last game. It's because
Suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, because of suspension. So why will
wouldn't
I mean that is settled already.
Rhys James or Malagusto, which is coming.
Malagusto.
Rhys James.
Rhys James can
Rhys
be
James.
cranky at times.
Malagusto.
Will he put in the kind of effort Gusto puts in?
Malagusto is true light. Like
But he's a workaholic.
going forwards, nothing so special.
And we know about going, but defensive-wise.
Defense too is not that deep. It's not somebody you can actually
Rhys
count
James
on.
is he James defensive.
Nonso?
But it gives you something going forward.
Nuno Mendes has stopped every player that he has faced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Chelsea player, of course, Joao Pedro looks like. Well, Joao Pedro will play nice, so he's looking like Nkunku. Pedro Neto will have a field day.
If I was one, I would send Pedro Neto to Mendes.
To the
To
flank,
Mendes.
right?
Yeah, to him, Pedro, not Joao Pedro.
Pedro Neto, yeah.
To go face him there. It looks like a guy who could give this guy
Mendes, yeah.
enough money. You can't take out the player or form out of his
Because
position.
Hakimi, you cannot even take away Hakimi.
Yes,
Leave Hakimi, nobody.
To be sincere, funny enough, I'll play on Madueke in that position. This will be playing Nkunku. Because I think if you play Nkunku ahead of Hakimi, Nkunku will be quiet all day. So I'll play on Madueke, at least for the fact that Madueke will keep him running all through the game until he's been
Because
changed.
of the pace,
the
right?
pace, exactly. So I'll play Neto, not the Madueke. You can't change the player on form because for me, you see, like I say, scoring is contagious, winning is contagious. You just put Pedro there, do your thing, He seems he's the number 9 for Chelsea at the moment.
Neto.
He's one of the best players
The
at the
Emperor
club.
is always
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
I
just
know.
to walk
The Emperor is
to walk
always-
Neto. His job there is to walk, keep Nunes doing the defensive duties and doing the attacking duties. That's the job.
We're getting something wrong here. Is this right? This team is compact.
Very compact, yeah.
So It's not about now. Nuno is Nuno because of the compactness of the team. If this team was not compact, we wouldn't have talked about Nuno in this manner. Same thing with the Hakimi, right? So because the team is compact, right? Go to a player that can actually push team to the wall, and I think Joao Pedro is better. He has the pace. His end result, his end wherever is always on point,
and he's strong,
and he's physical, more physical than
something
Nkunku.
in the attack.
Probably put a
In the lab, or even your Jackson, even your Jackson, it's not that terrible. I understand, but a Delap not bad at all completely. But anyhow you want to look at it, Maresca has actually progressed as a coach.
He has progressed. He has
progressed. You could see the development. You could see the improvement all over.
And
that's what consistency
for the
does
first
too.
time, I have a Chelsea fan of a father who watches Chelsea along me. And for the first time, he just, he always says everything wrong about Maresca. But for the past 2 games, it's like, it seems the guy is trying to, he's getting himself together.
Maresca has changed. Maresca has understand this team
now,
better.
before
That's the issue with probably other coaches that coach other teams. I mean, the issue with the issue with what was his name? I'm trying to remember. ETH was nothing was improving.
it was not.
The issue
There
with
was
Amorim
stagnant.
right now,
Nothing is also
improving. But with Maresca, even when
There's
it was this,
progression, yes.
there's the progression.
and
You could see it.
that there's a chance because
You could
Chelsea is no longer
on his own part, right?
about Kopama again.
On his own part, right? You could feel that okay, I'm there, I'm the guy, I know what I'm doing. He's settled.
He knows it.
He's mentally
And it's time
balanced.
to tell them that I'm the man.
Yeah.
Now, before I take your predictions, guys, for who wins the Club World Cup, what has been your best player so far at the Club World Cup?
Sincerely, he's going to be Gonzalo Garcia. That revelation.
For me, it's Kvaratskhelia, Kvaratskhelia. What a play.
No, Vitinha.
No, Kvaratskhelia. There's something he does when he has the ball, and for anytime he goes on attack, you just feel something's going to happen. So I think I'll go.
I know
a lot of players in the PSG squad I could have picked a lot. But
Yeah.
with Kvaratskhelia,
Like I saw a post.
I'm picking Gonzalo just because
Revelation,
when he was called
Yeah.
upon,
he stood up and was
5 goals contribution in about 6 games in the Club World Cup.
Not a bad
Fantastic.
output.
Well, not a bad output. Well, I saw a
Saka
post.
played at 8 games with 7 goals. So.
Yeah, I saw a post. I saw a post this morning, and the post was like, funny enough, the Ballon d'Or top 30 will have the entire Paris Saint-Germain starting 11 in the top 30. And I quite agree. The entire 30. In fact, the top 10 in the Ballon d'Or could have as high as 7
or 6.
Top 15 should have almost everybody in Paris Saint-Germain.
because
Top
even the
15
goalkeeper should be in the top 10.
He should be the best keeper.
But for me, my best player at this tournament, sincerely speaking, has been Achraf Hakimi as a right back who has progressed to, of course, joining in the goals and the assists for Paris Saint-Germain. He's been almost
He has
everywhere.
grown to become a leader.
And he's one of the best players. Onkari Sam, final was, who wins this one? Will it be Chelsea
Sincerely,
who
I
are
wouldn't want to mind
champions?
sword, and I wouldn't want to sit on the fence. I don't see anybody stopping PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain all the way.
Yes, I don't see anybody stopping PSG. I wouldn't want to even say I don't
Score
see
prediction.
anything. If it flips, miracle. Probably 3-0.
Wow.
It's going to be that easy.
It's going to be easy. Not so?
I go with him 3-0. Easy.
Well, the guys in the studio have gone with a 3-0 Paris Saint-Germain to flip Chelsea in, out, and of course up and down, and then go through and claim their first
Let's put
ever
you on the spot.
FIFA Club World Cup. For me,
Let's put you on the spot.
I am
yeah.
going all full blue in this one. Chelsea will win the FIFA Club World Cup, and they will beat Paris Saint-Germain by 2-1 at the final at the MetLife Stadium on Sunday. And when we come back, they will both be congratulating me and celebrating me for saying that Chelsea will be champions.
I'll buy you a bottle of something if that happens.
And I'll come,
Dear
I'll
Enzo
come bearing
Maresca.
gifts. Yeah.
You will do what?
I'll come bearing gifts.
You'll come bearing gift.
Yeah.
90 minutes, of course, and 120 minutes. That also penalty shootout will tell whether Chelsea will be champions of the FIFA Club World Cup. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content on our pages, and follow us on all social media page. Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studio. Be there. Remember, it is Chelsea Paris Saint-Germain at the final of the FIFA Club World Cup.